like the base. Actually, I don't know what I'm trying to talk about this in the exposure space, but they're really bright colors. I do know that I remember a lot of my time in Virginia Beach, and I lived there for 10 years, and so I was pretty much tired of being there for 10 years. I felt like everything was super repetitive, and I was really ready for something new. I moved here about 2 years ago, and I actually moved here by choice. My mom, she got a better paying job here, and then I decided to stay here on my own and be self-sufficient and like figure out like everything, including bills, being an adult on my own. And so that kind of drove me to like figure things out, like figure out what my passion was, and I realized like fully that art is my passion and that I can make a nice amount of money off of it if I strategize properly. And so my passion is that, and my passion is to ultimately be financially free, so I decided to like intertwine the two, and that's about it. And Twitter and pretty much any other social media that I happen to be on. And I'm 21 years old. I'm a self-taught Black artist, in case you can't tell by my silhouette. And I've always been into art. I've always been a creative. I just maybe started painting maybe 2 years ago. And I also started having wearable art. I had that idea to have wearable art maybe in August of this year. Printed this myself at a print shop, and I haven't even released this to the public yet. And before I had just long sleeves and short sleeves and hats, so sweaters and hoodies are coming up. This one is called Bloom, and this is the back. It just says Bloom all over it in just wavy text. And the meaning behind this, it initially the first version of this was on the long sleeves and the short sleeves. It said bloom where you were planted, and the meaning behind this is just to focus on the here and now and grow where you are right now. So like you don't have to move to California or Miami to be happy or to be a better person or to like start improving in any way. Just bloom where you're planted. And it was kind of inspired by, it was just slightly inspired by one of my friends who moved recently, and I was like, girl, you gotta bloom where you're planted, because like you can't just like run away from things and expect to like get a better outcome that way. You kind of just have to focus on now. But luckily things turned out well for her, even though it was a rocky start. Okay, so this is my reference. So this is like the base. Actually, I don't know why I'm trying to tap on this with exposure space, but this is the reference for this.
So you'll see a picture like that and then you paint it?
Yeah, but I don't like doing any chasing or anything. Like I literally look at it and then I paint it in my own little way. So as you can see, I'm not sure if you can tell very well, but like this is pretty different. And so she has red skin. And then there is, this was the original painting, like acrylic on canvas.
Wow.
And then I transformed it to this, which, like, someone bought this at one of my gallery hops. But then I have this forever on shirts. And let me see, where's the original for, what's it called? The Thirst. This is the original. Oh, trying to find a good angle here. And then this is all I was able to do. This is what I was able to do on canvas. I'm trying to like find good lighting here. Actually, this is excellent lighting, but you know what I mean. That was the original on canvas, and then I transformed it to this. You see? I don't know if you can see it.
We can see it.
Okay, cool. And then started like painting 2 years ago. Digital art maybe like the beginning of this year. And all of my digital work is on my wearable merch. And with this piece specifically, as well as the booty one right here, I always call it the booty one, but that's not what it's called. It's called She's Water. So, this one right here, these both started off as like original acrylic on canvas, and then I transformed it because I didn't have time for Gallery Hop to finish it on canvas. So I went ahead, went on my iPad, digitally painted over it, and it turned out completely different from the original. And some people say they like the original more. I personally like the digital version more, but preferences. You can see this one's called She Is Water, and there's like a whole quote associated with this one, which I'm gonna find really quickly. Yes, this is she. Okay, this is a sweater. And somewhere here, it says, she is water. I need to like read it, so. Oops. She is water, powerful enough to drown you, soft enough to cleanse you, and deep enough to save you. I did not come up with that quote myself. I honestly don't remember who it is by at this very moment, but it is by a poet. And I felt like it went really well with the art. So that's the meaning behind that. You Don't Get Me High Anymore. And there's a song, I think I'm gonna butcher the name of the band, but it's called Fantagram. No, wait, I think that's wrong. It's close in that vicinity. But the song's called You Don't Get Me High Anymore, so that's what inspired me with the title. The actual reference picture is very, very different from this outcome, so I think it'd be pretty cool to show you that in a moment. I just ended up having a curly-haired woman holding a bong when it was a white woman holding a lollipop initially. And I pretty much just used the pose as a reference. And so I just originally started off, I didn't even have a title when I was making it, but it just happened after I saw her with the purple bong, and the title just screamed to me. So that's how that came about. And then on the back it says hi all over it, and that's just the theme for all the long sleeves and the sweaters. They just have like a keyword on the back, just repeated all over in a wavy format. I'm really obsessed with bright colors. I love neon colors especially, and I also like adding like accents, like metallic accents or even reflective accents, or even sometimes my art is black light reactive or UV reactive, and so that's the big thing for my art.
Wanted you to know.
Discouraged in the process?
Absolutely. Okay, so talk directly there.
Yeah, or just
okay.
talk.
Yes, I felt discouraged 100%. I constantly feel discouraged as an artist. I feel like as an artist, I always have to, or maybe not just as an artist, maybe just me, I always need validation of some sort. And that could be really dangerous because sometimes I have the tendency of like shutting down, not necessarily from lack of validation, just like being overwhelmed, because that's another thing that I have a tendency of doing, and I also overthink. And so these are all like crippling things that I had to deal with as an artist that can really like hold me back. So I honestly feel like I can be in a way better position right now. I think that anyone could be in a better position right now if they didn't let things like that hold them back. But I know that I had my first gallery hop in August at the Short North, and that's when I actually first had my merchandise and displayed my art to the public and sold any of my art. And it was really scary, and I was very overwhelmed, and I almost quit like 3 days before, which was really ridiculous now that I think about it. Like, I really had to have like people around me that cared about me and supported me to like tell me to get it together, and like tell me, like reassure me that, you know, I got this and there's really nothing to be like discouraged about, because in my friends' words, you know, they think my art's pretty beastie, so. That's what it's
understand how it might be kind of hard to love her.
Yeah, because this looks so funny on my head. No. Promise that this hat will look much better on you than it does me.
I just wanted you to know.